The Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's The Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Folks, we're back with you, and I am tickled to death. We have got royalty on the phone with us, Georgette Jones, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you, girl?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm staying busy, but not quite as busy as you are. You've got a lot going on with all the music and a brand new whiskey. You've got a new whiskey out?
I do. It's been really exciting because I guess maybe it's my reward for crazy, horrible last year. I don't know. But so far we have been pretty busy. Really excited. I have a new whiskey out called Apple Sin, and it's being made at a distillery called Silent Brigade Distillery in Paducah, Kentucky.
Right.
And we're working on distribution nationwide and in Canada, but for the moment, they, I think, can ship to about 10 different states from there. So it's pretty exciting to get something like that out on the market. We've been wanting to do it for a while.
Oh, Lord, I'm telling you, from Kentucky, you know that's where all the good whiskey comes from, no doubt about it.
Of course.
Yeah. So did you get to name it, or how'd you come up with the name?
Well, actually, my partner helped name it because I wasn't really sure what to call it. My partner, Spencer Ballantyne, he's a great guy, and he's had a moonshine and apple cinnamon whiskey in his family recipe for a long, long time. His grandfather, I believe, came up with the original recipe. And so we tweaked his original whiskey to add some apple and cinnamon flavor to it to get what we wanted. And it took a little bit of trial and error, but we finally got there. I'm really excited about what we came up with.
So we get like free bottles for tasting or something? You got anything like that we could get? I mean, just asking for a friend.
Well, I'd love to help you out there. I'm sure we can work something out.
You know, it's funny. You know, it's I don't know if you know Tommy Townsend or not, but he's got Granddaddy Mim's moonshine, and we've been friends for a long time. And I told him after he's got his own moonshine that he does, and
that's awesome.
We've become real good friends since he had the moonshine still. So you're probably like that. You're gonna get a lot.
You mean my new BFF?
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of good friends with this. I guarantee you. They're like, yeah, she's not only a good singer. Golly, yeah, I guarantee you. But that's exciting. You know, that's the thing that's going on. It's I don't think people understand how hard it is to get all that stuff regulated through the government. It's a job.
I had no idea, and I'm just so thankful. Spencer knows what he's doing for sure. He's more business, and I'm more trying to put everything else together. But he's done this before, and I had no idea. It's some crazy rules and regulations, and it's every state's different.
Yep.
So it's been a lot to learn, but we're getting there. So I'm excited that hopefully we'll have it out where you can get it in any state in the next couple of months. So looking forward to that.
I love the bottle. Yep, I love the bottle.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
So how's the music business going? COVID, everybody says it's slowing down a little bit, and some stuff's opening up in like Florida and this, that, and the other. You out playing any? You got anything going on?
Well, I had my first show in Branson, and it was a couple of weeks ago, and I was so excited because I had 3 shows all of last year because of COVID. So, my husband and I have been doing some studio work from home, trying to, keep things going and make ends meet, so to speak, until we can get back on the road. But things are starting to slowly open back up, and I'm hoping that maybe by summertime things will start really getting in better shape. Right. And so who knows? Hopefully that'll happen soon because I miss performing, and I love to travel, and I love to meet people, and so it's a big part of our life that we've had to do without for a long time now. So.
Well, yeah, you just recently released an album, not long ago, when all this COVID stuff was going on?
I did. It was a project that I had in the works for many years, so I was really excited to finally get it out. But did last September. I was supposed to have it in September, originally in July, but finally had my CD release party in October. Took me quite some time to get it there, but it's a CD called Skin, and you can get it off my website. But I'm so excited because I have a duet with one of my heroes, Vince Gill.
Yeah.
And I have a duet with Dale Watson and one with Roger Miller's son, Dean Miller.
Dean
so I'm
Miller.
really excited about the project. And Dean actually produced it. He's very talented.
Yeah, he's done a lot of producing. We get him on the show some, and I love Dean. He's great. He's great, and
Yeah, he really is.
And he does a lot of producing. But now your husband also, he plays in a band too, right?
He does. My husband plays steel guitar for Easton Corbin, and he loves his job because he actually gets to play.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to find fiddle and steel in a band these days that's modern and new. So
Yeah.
he loves his job and is thankful for that because we both love traditional music and love country music. So it's definitely good.
Well, now, has he been getting out any?
He actually, he went out. He's had 2 shows this year, and they're going to finally get back out, I think, at a somewhat normal pace, getting slowly creeping into it by the end of April, first part of May. I think they're starting to get back to work some. And, the calendar is still a little sparse. People are, I think, still nervous and not sure when everything is going to open up. But I think they're expecting, too, that hopefully by the summertime, more people will be vaccinated and the cases will be better. It won't be as bad as it has been. So hopefully we can all safely get back to work really soon. And until then, I've been really lucky because my friend Raylan Nelson, she's the granddaughter of Willie Nelson.
Right.
And she and I kind of connected through COVID and started doing some work. And we're actually doing a podcast that will start this year and later this year. And I can't give any details, but there's a possibility it may even turn into a TV show. So we're super excited about it. We're going to be able to talk to other people like us. We're going to be talking to different family members like John Carter Cash and Jesse Keith Whitley, who's Lori Morgan and Keith Whitley's son, and a whole bunch of different people out there. And I think that it'll be a lot of fun because we all kind of have a bond without even really knowing each other as well. Some of us just because of having gone through some of the same things. And I think it's really cool to be able to showcase their music and some different things too. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad you told me about that. Now, what if we want? Is the podcast up now?
We're actually just putting it all together, and we had kind of slowed down a little bit because the potential for possibly making this a TV show. We're still going to do the podcast no matter what,
right.
But it's going to be called Roots and Revelations.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about the roots of country music, different family members who can talk to us about the beginnings and different things that their family member went through, and then also on a personal note, what they've done and how the industry has affected them in their life. And so we're really excited about being able to do that.
But, that's great. That really, and, you think about these people, that's got their parents was in the music business and they think, well, the door's wide open, like Dean Miller, he talks about it some on some of the stuff,
right.
And it's like, you have to make your own way just because your father and mother, the people,
absolutely.
But you've got to do
In fact, sometimes it actually goes against you because people either stereotype what they think you're going to be like, or
right.
They want you to not be too country. And if our parents were very country, they automatically assume that we're going to sound like them. Or, there's so many different things. I mean, I even had people. I had a demo deal with RCA back years ago, right before Carrie Underwood won American Idol. And when all of that was going on, I remember when my attorney was trying to pitch me to different places, and people were so harsh in the business that there would be things like, well, we haven't met her, so does she have a drug problem? Does she have an alcohol problem? Does she do this? Does she do that? Like a lot of really personal, crazy questions I'm sure they never would have asked of anybody else.
Right.
They don't just ask that from everybody who comes into the business. So it can be a plus to have a name to a degree, but it also can be really harmful to your own career because people just really want you to do your parents' music.
That's exactly right.
It's really hard to be able to find your own way and make your own music because, we're very proud of our family, and right. I certainly love honoring them, but it's also nice to be able to be an individual and make my own music at times, too. So.
Yeah. And, I mean, you got a good album, too, and it's your own. That's the thing I like, and, I keep going back to Dean Miller, just like, him, everybody wants him to do King of the Road.
He's very talented.
And he's got a great album. And then you go to, like Shooter Jennings, with Waylon. Shooter's just rock and roll.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, Shooter's great. He's very talented. And he's doing a lot of producing now. He produced the album that won a Grammy for Tanya Tucker.
Right.
And, he's Brandy Carlisle and a lot of different people. So he's doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
And but there's so many people, too, I think, that may have grown up in the business who don't do anything musically necessarily, but they know a lot of people, and they've accomplished a lot. And I think it's cool to get to kind of know them personally too, and see how their path may be different from their parents, but what they learned from them, and how they grew up. It'll be a lot of fun.
I don't know Willie Nelson's granddaughter. Is it his granddaughter?
Yeah, his granddaughter, Raylan Nelson. For some reason, I guess I was thinking that you had interviewed her too, but I guess I'm mistaken. But
no, but I can get her on
she's
here.
She's very talented.
Right.
She to me is kind of like a combo of rock and country. She's got a great sound. She's so much fun. She's full of energy, and just one of the people that when you meet her, you just automatically like her. You just can't help yourself. She's just so sweet and a really great person.
Yeah. And I know Willie's kids, his boy there, that one, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he sounds like Willie. He's got Willie's voice, but
Lucas?
Lucas, but
probably Lucas, yeah.
But he sings in time. That's the only difference.
That's very true. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I'm like, he's on time, but he sounds like Willie, so I'm not sure that's his boy. But anyway, yeah. This is great.
Too funny.
Yeah, so you've got a lot going on. This would be great, especially if it comes into a TV series. That would be wonderful. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. And then, the other thing, the last thing I suppose I should say, and something I've been working on, since 2013. In fact, my first phone call was in February, and we went from the possibility of making a major motion picture to what we're doing now, which in fact, at first I thought it was going to be awful. I was really upset if we weren't going to be able to make a movie, but it turns out it's really going to be so much better. Instead of having a 2-hour movie, we've been picked up by CBS Viacom, and so if you go to CBS, hopefully we start filming in July of this year, and we're hoping to have it out no later than March of next year on CBS. But it is a TV show, limited series that'll stream from there, called George and Tammy, and it'll be about my parents and about their relationship and how they met and about the music business and different things. And it's just their story. And a lot of people think they know their whole story, but there's a lot of things I think people would be surprised to know that they hopefully will learn from this TV show. But I'm so excited because it's, a chance for them to finally have their story told.
But now you're helping on this then.
Yes. I wrote a book several years ago called The Three of Us, and it was my story growing up with my parents. And they contacted me back in 2013 in February to ask me if maybe I would be interested in selling my book rights and being a consultant. So at the end of the day, I'm not writing every word, certainly not. They have writers for that. But they've interviewed my family and many of our friends and a lot of other artists, and I'm really happy and pleased with what they're doing with it. So hopefully it's going to be really exciting for that to come out early next year.
No, I'm excited about that. That's the thing about it. Most people, they like the dirt. That's what everybody's after, But I like the reality stuff. That's kind of, I got to Richie Albright, which we just lost him, and Jigger Bridges. I got to hang out with them, and they was with Waylon for years and years. And then hearing all the stories that they talked about, which was fun stories, but it wasn't just, trash. But I think that's great. That's really, it's going to be cool because, no doubt your mom and your dad touched millions of people. And
well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm definitely very proud of them. And I think the main thing for me when I wrote the book, which I'm hoping will come through in the TV series as well, is that I wanted people to know them more than just as artists. I wanted them to be seen as people and as mom and dad and, friends and, just normal people. I wanted them to see what they went through as human beings, not just their artistic side, which I'm sure we'll definitely be showing a lot of that too. But I think that there's a personal story there with both of them that I'm really happy that we're going to finally be able to tell. Yeah,
that's great because I don't think people realize how hard it is to be on the road in the music business and then have a family too.
That's very true, and I think it's glamorized on TV and in the media. People think that it's just all fun and games, and that the worst thing that can happen is that they might not have all the privacy that they want. But it's definitely a lot different. People cannot wait to bring them down because it makes them feel better that they are human and they made a mistake. They want to put them under the microscope every time anything happened. My mom, even as late as 2 weeks before she passed away, we had a long conversation, and in that conversation she was telling me that my dad would always be the love of her life, and that unfortunately, just because of the time that it was and everything, and my dad drinking and my mom, she always took her responsibility to. She said I would nag him to death about things, you know, the drinking and stuff like that. And she said that never helps. But she said, you know, you just don't know. You're young and immature, and you do stupid things when you're trying to make something happen. And obviously, you just can't make something happen. She said maybe if it had been a different time, maybe they could have had a different story. But you know, they both loved each other very much. I think it was just really unfortunate that it just didn't work out at that time.
And everybody goes through the same stuff. Everybody does.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, no doubt about it. Well, girl, this has been good, and we have got to get to a break. I need to get the number to your lawyer you were talking about, because he pitches you to all these people. My lawyer, all he does is try to keep me out of jail. I think I need a new lawyer.
Well, you know, something to be said about that, just saying. you need someone to keep you out of jail, for sure. There you go.
Tell these folks one more time where they can get up with you and follow all this in your new whiskey. I call it whiskey. I guess that's what it is, whiskey, right?
It is. It's an apple cinnamon whiskey. It's a flavored whiskey, but it's still whiskey. And it tastes great, if I do say so myself.
There you
go.
But
it's at Silent Brigade Distillery out of Paducah, Kentucky. You can call them if you're interested in finding out where they can ship to. And if you are interested in my music, my new CD, Skin, you can go to GeorgetteJones.net. And I'm also Facebook fan page and on Instagram. So please look me up. I'd love to talk to you.
All right, girl. We sure appreciate it. I'm a big fan, and we'll be supporting you as it go. And we'll get you back on here in a little while and see what else is happening with you, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right,
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you for listening. This is Stephen Phillips, host of The Morning Dish. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we have a lot more interviews out there to listen to. Plus, you can listen online every morning at WJULradio.com or Lake 97.7 WJUL. And give us a like on our Facebook page, The Morning Dish.